I really hope nobody ever watches this video. I really hope nobody ever goes through teacher stress. But I know that if you are watching this, it's a real issue and it's a real problem that in education, and one that we don't talk about enough, honestly. So in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about what teacher stress may feel like. I'm going to share my own personal experiences so that you can hear whether we have anything in common, and some strategies that you can use and implement to help you with teacher stress. My name's Rachel Hardman and I run Passionate About Music Education. And I've been teaching for 25 years, and throughout my career I've had amazing highs and amazing lows. Yes, amazing lows, because there are times when you have to learn and grow from the pain and understand why you feel stressed and burnt out. And those lows have looked like this for me. They've been stress headaches. So I would often get a stress headache, maybe start coming on a Tuesday afternoon, and it didn't matter how many paracetamol I would take, it would still be there by Friday. It would only start to disappear by the weekend. I remember there were days when I was working in one school and I was stressed and I would get these headaches, which I always blamed on commuting into work and the stress of getting there on time and coping with my Crohn's. But the stress headaches were so bad that I would often sit by the radiator with my back on it trying to ease the pain. That's what a stress headache was like. Other symptoms I've had in the past, not only the stress headache, but the tension and the stress in the shoulders. So there's pain in my shoulder and the side of my back. And again, it was really hard to get rid of it. It would start and it would take a few days for that to disappear. Other things I experienced was the constant noise. So you'd wake up at 6:30 in the morning and by 6:31, school's buzzing around your head and you're going, I need to do this, I've got to plan this, I've got to do this rehearsal. And there were days when I'm going, it's 6:31 in the morning, why won't this stop? And you're exhausted before you get to work. You go into work, you're on go all day, because that's what we do as teachers. And a busy, music department where you've got lots of extracurricular clubs going on, it's go. And then you'd get home and all you would want to do is sit down on the chair with a cup of tea and be left alone in the peace and quiet. You'd be exhausted, but you'd get to bedtime and then you're wide awake and you would struggle to go to sleep. Or the other thing that I often did was avoid going to sleep. So I'd read my book a little bit longer and go, wow, this is for me. But of course, then it means that you don't wake up so fresh the next day and it gets worse. These were some of the real symptoms that I've had as a teacher that tell me that I'm stressed. The other thing that I notice that I always do when I'm getting stressed is I start to isolate myself. I start to step away from being in a staff room or having conversation with colleagues, because I know that most of the conversation I'm going to have is going to be negative. It's going to be like, complaining, and I don't want to complain. These are signs of teacher stress, and they are real, and they are not nice experiences. And it takes some real planning of how to get out of it. And for many years, I didn't know how to get out of the stress that I was feeling, or realise that it was actually constant build-up of stress that I wasn't releasing in a healthy way. Why did I believe that? Well, because when I started teaching, everyone was telling you that teaching is busy. You work from, 7 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night every day of the week. You work at weekends, and that's what term time looks like. And if you can't cope with it, you're in the wrong career. And that's what holidays are for, and this is what we do. We work hard so we can play hard. So of course, as a young 20-year-old coming into education, you believe what the people around you who've been in teaching tell you. They tell you that this is what it's going to be like, so you just believe it and you see it more and more. And because, of course, education has changed and society has changed, and we have this sort of fast-paced society we all live in, the pressures of keeping up and the constant communication via email, it has changed, and the pace has changed. But in reality, what was wrong was the advice given by the people who were meant to mentor me. And that's why I'm making this video today, to help you. I hope nobody ever watches this video, I truly do. Because if you are watching this video and you are trying to search for better solutions, then I am so sorry that you are going through teacher stress and that you are going through stress in your life. But I hope I can give you some real action points that you can put in place. I've been using, particularly over the last 2 years, and I feel healthier and happier, and I do have to work at them. And there are times when I can see myself slipping in stress, and I have to do these actions a lot more. So what I'm going to give you as advice is not do it today and tomorrow you'll be perfect. It's do it every day, and when you have those bad days, do it even more. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is meditation. And when I first heard, people always say, oh, you should meditate. I don't know, I don't have time for that. That's nonsense. And you try it a couple of times, and you don't find the right meditation, you don't find the right recording, and you go, I'm not doing this. Why does meditation work? Because now I understand, I can explain it to you. I like to know the why. It works because what happens is you are breaking up those stress moments by giving your brain, the ego mind, some space. It brings you into the present. The ego mind is protecting us constantly, and it's taken us either into anxiety in the future, worrying about what's going to happen. You get that email from your principal and you start getting into a panic attack about why does he want to see me, and then the anxiety gets worse and worse and worse, and before you know, you've made it into this dreadful situation, and actually just wanted to ask you a question about the department. Or the ego mind slips you into depression and into that negative mindset as well, which is like, oh, everything always goes wrong, and you start doing that sort of negative self-talk. And that's what the ego mind's doing. It's always trying to protect us, but it's actually not. It's just really cruel, but we don't know this. It's just taking us back and forth, back and forth. So why does meditation work? Well, what it does is it allows you to focus on your breathing, to relax your body, but to relax the mind, to really stop that going back and forth, to control, to bring you into the present. And when you're in the present, you cannot be doing the back and forth. You are actually controlling the ego mind. It also allows you to hear the thoughts and really question whether they're real or not. Our mind is really good at creating stories and put meaning to it. We're a species that can do that. But of course, sometimes we're doing that and then we're doing it in a negative way, particularly if you're stressed, because if you're stressed, there are chances you're in a negative mindset. You're feeling low, you're feeling depressed, maybe feeling shame, feeling blame, feeling guilty, feeling you're not doing a good enough job, feeling you're not serving the students well, feeling you're not helping your colleagues enough, that the department should be growing. All of this judgment that you're putting on yourself, and that's what the mind's doing. And meditation has really helped me. It's something I have to do every day. I don't always do it every day, and I know as soon as I've stopped doing it for a couple of days and that sort of negativity starts to slip in, that I have to go back and do more meditation. Now, I don't sit there for hours and hours a day. I do something short, maybe first thing in the morning or last thing at night. I sometimes do a little meditation break. I might put some spa music on. I might just do a release action, a release meditation where I'm talking about release, little breaks during the day. And just taking that moment. But what the meditation has taught me, and which I want to share with you, is being able to control my mind going from back and forth. I no longer do that as much. I have much more control over the sort of anxiety of the future or the depression from the past. I am in control of my mindset, and I'm more in the present. And that makes a big difference in controlling my stress, and that will help you too. So you have to stick with it. You have to do it for more than one day. And, on those days where you slip and you don't do it, just start it again. Of course, all the other normal life coaching advice is helpful. That sleeping, eating healthily, not snacking on junk food, which we all do as teachers because we're always on the go. The doing more exercise. And again, sometimes when you're stressed, I know that I just wanted to come and sit on the chair. I wanted the safety of my home. I needed just to withdraw into myself, which was the wrong thing to do. But that's what I felt I needed to do. What I needed to do was those, 5-minute walks, 10-minute walks, push the Hoover around, go and sit in the garden, whatever it is that works for you, that sort of self-care. that healthy exercise, because it helps bring endorphins into the brain and helps you feel better. And again, I didn't believe it because I'm a musician, I'm not overly sporty, but now I do believe it. Now I really know that that is really important. So again, when I feel myself slipping, that's what I double down on. Other things you could do is journal, a positive gratitude journal. Again, I do this every day, and I don't do it for school, I do it for me. So I start the day by looking at what am I grateful for. I write a list of 10 things that I'm grateful for. Then I'll, in the evening, write down how my day's gone, and then I will give myself a score on different things that are important to me. So it might be, am I a good family member? Have I been a good friend today? Have I been a good teacher today? Have I been a good professional musician? Have I stuck to my values? My values are being kind and reliable. How have I done? I give myself a mark out of 5. 5 being awesome and 1 being a bit sucky. And actually, when you do that, you realise that on the whole, you've actually had a much more successful day than you give yourself credit. And any area that you suddenly go, I'm only a 2 out of 5 today, that's the area that you need to work on tomorrow to balance your day. So generally for me, it'll be the healthy bit, it'll be the exercise bit, and I'll go, that's probably why I'm feeling a bit stressed. So I've got tension in my shoulders. I can feel it in my breathing. I've kept that tension, that stress, maybe even trauma, because we've all been through different experiences as children. I've kept that in my body. And we're really good, with all that negative mind talk of talking ourselves into we're not good enough, we're not worthy of love, we're not enough, we're not doing enough, we'll never get it right, we're not as good as that person, we'll never be as good as that person. It's easy to do that because that's what the ego mind wants to do. But actually, by journaling and looking at how you're doing each day, or even on a weekly basis, you find a method that works for you, you'll find that you're doing a lot more things successfully. Just sometimes we miss them in the busyness of the days. Today has been a perfect example of a stressful day. We've gone back to work and everything's changed with all the guidance, and although I planned some amazing lessons, they're not the lessons I want to teach because I'm no longer in my classroom teaching with instruments, and I'm going into other people's maths rooms or English rooms. And I come away frustrated at myself, and I shouldn't, because I've tried my very best to do a good job today, considering all the circumstances. I'm doing a good job in a difficult situation, like all of us at the moment. But my instinct as a teacher, as a professional, is, well, it wasn't good enough. That lesson didn't work. The children weren't engaged. I still can't find a solution. Why is this not working? How am I going to teach music to my standard? How am I going to help these children? And it's really easy to get into that. And I knew that I was feeling stressed because I was starting to get a headache and start to feel like I was isolating myself again and not wanting to really engage in conversation. And I know that today I need to do more meditation, I need to journal again, I need to keep looking for the positive, the gratitude and the joy to help me not spiral down into that teacher stress, because it's so easy to do. But I now know why I'm doing it, why I feel this way, and different strategies that work to help. I've listened to life coaches, and there's so much information out there that's not being shared with teachers. In 25 years, I've never heard a lot of this being talked about to teachers, how to cope with the job. And I think if they did, we wouldn't have so many teachers leaving the profession so quickly. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope if you've stayed on and watched this long enough that you try some strategies. Even if these ones don't work for you, there are strategies, because teacher stress is real and we need to find healthy ways of unpacking it so it doesn't impact the rest of our lives outside of work. So you can go in with your cup full, and even if during the day that cup starts to empty, you can come home and you can refill it. You can put that all the skills that you need back into it to keep that cup full for you, because you need to be healthy and you need to look after yourself so that you can be a good family member or a good husband or wife or a good partner or a good teacher. But you can't do that if you're not looking after yourself. And I wish somebody had taught me this 20 odd years ago. It would have saved me an awful lot of pain and a lot of sadness at times. And by sharing what I've learned and my pain, I hope that these tips about self-care, meditation, journaling will help you find healthy ways of unpacking that stress and understanding why these methods do actually work. I was skeptical, and then I tried them because I needed to try them. I needed a solution. I needed something different. And I tried them and I stuck with them, and I've listened to the advice from various different people, business coaches, life coaches, and I promise you it makes such a difference. I hope this has helped. If you like this video, please, of course, like, comment, subscribe, share, and let me know what else you need, and I will keep sharing my knowledge and my own personal experience to help you, because I would not want anybody to go through what I've been through. I'm Rachel Hardman, and this is Passionate About Music Education, and I hope to see you again soon.